Welcome to Story Scaling by podcastvideos.com, where creators share the truth behind the content, the grind, and the growth. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and family, I am Jeremiah Pickett. You may know me as Bang of podcastvideos.com. This is Story Scaling, and I have an excellent brother with me. But before we get into that, I want to thank you guys for watching these videos. Please continue to like, subscribe. If there's anything impactful, share it with a friend. If there's someone that you would like to see on the pod, make sure to reach out and let me know, and we appreciate you. But right now, we're about to get into it. I'm excited for this one. To my right, I have the one and only.
I'm Jeremy Bobo. I'm pre-media manager at Walmart Corporate. Also founder and CEO of District 21, a micro mini agency associated with content creation, the advancement of AI, generative AI creation, and just happy to be here. I was on this show in 2021 when it was evolving. Eric Howerton and I had the opportunity to get together, jam, laugh, talk about the advancement of retail. And it was about, I think it was called, when you work at Walmart, Walmart will help you. And that's funny because that's a lot of what has developed me here in this area, in this geological location, is the development of Walmart and what it's done to this community. So happy to be here. Thankful.
Thanks for joining me, my man.
Yes,
thank you. So I'm gonna get into the bio. I did a little research, a little digging, and this is what the streets are saying about Jeremy Bobo.
Cool.
All right, so you tell me either we spot on, you rocking with it, tell me what we need to change, and we'll go from there. Cool?
Okay.
Thanks again for joining me, brother.
Thanks.
It says, today's guest is Jeremy Bobo, a creative entrepreneur, brand strategist, and pillar of the Northwest Arkansas marketing community. Originally from Little Rock, Jeremy's journey began at the intersection of tech, art, moving from studying computer science to becoming a nationally recognized figure in the music industry. In 2006, Jeremy secured an MTV royalty contract and later opened for Snoop Dogg in front of thousands of people. Experiences that refined his ability to capture attention and tell high-stakes stories. He eventually pivoted that creative hustle into the corporate world, serving as a senior leader for one of the region's top marketing firms before co-founding District 21 Group. As co-owner of District 21 and founder of One Life Events, Jeremy blends high-level retail strategy with grassroots content creation. Known for his corporate creative expertise, he helps brands navigate the digital landscape while remaining deeply committed to community service and mentorship in the Rogers area. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Bobo.
Thank you.
Is that it?
That's pretty good.
Yeah?
That's pretty good. I feel like I'm a million years old because a lot of the things you talked about was a lot of different chapters. But thankful, and that's the journey. I started as a kid out of Little Rock. Yeah. Soccer probably and playing and being an athlete got me to an area where I could go to college. Yeah. Because otherwise in our family, you don't go to college unless you got enough scholarship or something that gets you there. Yeah. And I'm thankful that I played a sport that got me to Lyon College, Bayfield, Arkansas.
Shout out to Lyon College. My brother went there.
Shout out to Lyon.
Yeah.
They built me up. It's a small college, but you get that little more hands-on attention class. Yeah. You can learn a little more and do a little more. And so I was a computer science major, and I was a scholarship thankful that I got a scholarship to play, and that grew me up. They got me out of where I was born.
See, I didn't even know that. I didn't know you played soccer.
Played soccer for 16 years. I played soccer from 5 years old to 22.
Are you?
So the majority of my life, I played in London and Scotland when I was 17 for a growth camps. I think there was 3 months in London, or 2 months in London, 1 month in Scotland. But to kind of skip through that was me getting out of the inner city life I was born in. Had an opportunity to go study abroad a little bit, travel, get out of the country, go to college. But just, to bounce between those two things. Yeah. The journey to travel abroad and play soccer got me the opportunity to get the scholarship to go to Lyon College. So it got me out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Man. I didn't know about Little Rock, Arkansas. I love my city. I love where I'm from. But my eyes were open to other opportunities in that chapter. So
Man, when you think about that bio that I just read, there are so many different things. You got experience
Oh, thanks.
across so many different sectors. I mean, we talk about tech, we talk about music, we talk about marketing, and what I would consider, from what I said, you've excelled in each of these individual realms, depending on how you define success. And so what stands out to you most when you hear about these things? Because I'm sure you don't think about the fact that like, oh, I did this, I did that. Like every day, it might not be top of mind. So what's one of those things that just jumps out at you when you hear some of those things that you've done?
The pinnacle would be when I won 40 under 40. You think about the people like Cameron Smith from our town, anybody that knows the pillar people in our community. Cameron Smith, he passed away a few years ago. I was happy to be thankful to be on not a podcast like this, but it was more of an interview.
Sure.
It was called Northwest Arkansas Live. It was a TV section. It was a collaborative of several people put together to talk about how the community is growing, what things need to happen, how will we move forward.
Yeah.
Cameron Smith was big in that, and I got to meet him at that time. But I won 40 under 40 right after that. Thankful for that. Yay. But it's more about the accumulation of impact that got me an opportunity to win 40 under 40. And I think it was 2021. And that's when I started District 21 as a micro content creator to start putting out content that would generate tons of views. But it wasn't about me. It was about the community.
Yeah.
It was about what's changing in the creative industry.
Yeah.
Try to like sum it all up. Music was huge in my life.
Yeah.
In a chapter, 8 to 10 years in the music industry.
Yeah.
Traveling and creating music specifically. But then during that time, I had to create content to make the music popular.
Yeah.
We had to create MySpace. MySpace.com.
Oh, yeah. The real ones remember.
You have to have enough viewership and enough adoption and followers and fans.
Yeah.
I can go into that. Everything needs a fan.
Let's talk about this.
Sure.
Right. Let's I don't want to interrupt, but I want to pause you because again, you have a unique experience to where nowadays you can get in front of 1 million people just by posting something online. When you were coming up in the music business, if you wanted to be in front of 1 million people, you probably had to talk to 500,000 of them in their face and learn how to navigate some of these newer spaces like the internet when it was just becoming. And so I want you to talk a little bit about that, whether that's from the music specifically or whether that's from content creation. Talk about how things have changed and how it used to go for you. Like, what did you have to do to get popping back in 2008 and 2010? You know what I mean? Like, what did that...
Absolutely.
Talk about that.
Yeah. You look at speakers and influencers. One specific that comes to mind to try to answer that question the best I can is Gary V.
Yep.
Gary Vaynerchuk. He has always been looking at what's the next MySpace. What's the next platform that allows us to tell a story.
Yeah.
And his content now is changed over the last decade, but his content now is you have an opportunity to put out one video that changes the world. Chili's was struggling, and a girl on her break put out a video about some cheese sticks, and 40% of their lift was a video about cheese sticks for the next couple of years. He's talked about a lady from China that put some bags and some handbags and different things, like 200% lift. That wasn't possible when I was making music. That wasn't possible when I was coming up. So constant creation of visuals and videos, static imagery and videos was all we could do and try to get it on whatever platform was available, SoundCloud, your MySpace. But if that wasn't it, it was guerrilla marketing.
Talk about
nobody even understands that term.
Talk about that.
Exists as much. Guerrilla marketing is face-to-face interaction. It's going to Memphis in May. It's going to your local whatever. It's competing in a talent show. It's going out and speaking with your local community. You talk about products.
Yeah.
There's so much to think about. You go to your local farmer's market. I just talked to somebody about their farmer's market presence and their setup. What's your signage, print media?
I mean, that was marketing.
What's your experience like?
Yeah.
What's their interaction with you face to face? So it was way more of that and a little bit of digital. So we just had to be present. So it was traveling. It was meetings. It was printing off flyers. That's still a thing.
Right.
Print media is huge.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm doing now on the Walmart side. But in regards to answering your question, it was more about physical interaction, a sprinkle of what you can do on content creation and getting some followership.
Yeah.
And mixing the two. And then it's about the product. Not necessarily music, but any product, it's got to be making a difference. It's got to be solving a problem. It's got to be making someone's life. It's got to be entertaining. Whatever bucket you're trying to fulfill, it's the product, whatever that is, it's got to fulfill a bucket. And then that's how you grow from a marketing perspective. And then it's like music faders. You know about music. It's like the faders. You slide up the treble, you slide up the bass, you slide down, whatever you to EQ it. It depends on what industry, what silo you're in. That tells you what you need to focus on more, whether it be podcast, whether it be digital, whether it be audio only, whether it be ebook, whether it be physical presence speaking.
Sure.
Sometimes, I mean, it's faceless companies. There's companies that don't even need a face because what they're doing in the digital space is what the product is.
Wow.
So that's a big open, canopy until you narrow down what industry am I in, what am I after, what am I trying to sell. But just to answer your question, my experience was started with music and content creation. That been into me loving creating content, whether it be a digital content or print content. Then I landed at a marketing agency where I was able to work on properties like Paw Patrol.
Oh, wow.
Hello Kitty, Nickelodeon products like SpongeBob, and it was Walmart focused.
Wait a second. We talking about some of the biggest brands in the world right now.
Some are resurfacing. Yeah, Bluey's resurfacing. That's funny. And Barney. But kids properties is what I got an opportunity and thankful to work on. Just the content for those brands.
Yeah.
And coming from making covers for music and hip hop culture to just know that whatever visuals you have is going to help you sell. I was thankful to get into a marketing agency where I was challenged to use whatever Adobe creative skill sets I had. Is to go, here's some Hello Kitty assets. That's way a different spectrum.
Absolutely.
Create something or help us create something that we put on shelf, that we put on digital, that we put on our website.
When you talk about, you said something and it made me think about something for the first time. Maybe when you were doing music, it was probably 90% in person, face to face, hand to hand, and 10%, internet, anything else.
Sure.
I feel like now that's inverted. It's probably 90% internet, digital, and 10% face to face, in person. Like I can't imagine. I did a festival. Bang in the Gang is my annual music festival, and I went around and I passed out flyers and put them in people's hands. You know what I mean? And I don't know, maybe we did 500 flyers. And it was great because it more than anything, it gave me that feeling of like, no, you got to connect with the people. I mean, some of those people was like, I'm not interested, and so you talk about, a lot, I want you to talk about that. I want you to talk about how that guerrilla marketing builds something in you, because they say people who were born with certain privileges, when things go bad, they can't adapt. But for somebody that's been on the street and had to see a person put their CD down after they gave it to them, like
the one you worked on,
the one you worked hard on, talk about that and how that experience now will support you when things have changed, because it's a different game now. But what did those skills build that you can carry over into today's,
So a blanket statement of another influencer that I follow, and this is my influence is following other influencers. John Bryant goes, nowadays, if you have a high school education and no hustle, you're going to fail. That's blunt, but
Break that down.
In years past, if you had a high school education, you were getting to be cream of the crop, and then you go to college, you're cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Now it is experiential experience. You know, if you've been out and you've been rejected, you understand how to accept rejection. Oh man, we press CDs all night till 3 a.m, pass them out at Memphis and May, 5,000 copies, and you see a few on the street on your walk back. And as you pick them back up and put them back in your backpack, but then you know that you got 1,000 to 2,000 out.
Yep.
And you get that email or your message on MySpace that we love your CD and I live. It was somebody in Alaska that said, I got your CD somehow. I'm in Alaska. I was like, that don't even make sense to me.
Even break that down. So, Jeremy, when you say, because nowadays, like, we think it's hard to create a caption on your phone that you. So when you say you press CDs till 3 a.m, what does that even mean? Like, talk about the process of printing a CD.
And CDs. Nobody even buys CDs anymore. Those Hastings. Is there any? Is there?
Hastings done. I think the last one is
they
done.
went with Blockbuster. Yep. God bless them. But press CDs, we would just create tracks depending on whether it's 12 to 14, whatever it's an EP or full LP, and we would burn it with a burning device, a computer or a burning tower to one. And then you can create copies. So we had a tower that had you enter, I don't know, I think it was like a deck of 10 CDs, and the top CD was the one that had the 14 tracks on it, and it would duplicate to the other 9. Then you had 10. Then we would buy jewel cases. I would design the inserts, which were the faces, whatever that graphic would be. Put the assortment of tracks and the names and the duration and the
CD cover and the
CD back. And we would sit there and insert those CD covers into the jewel cases, take the CDs out of the press machine, which is just a tower that pressed from the first one. The first one is the core content, and it just duplicate burn to the other 9. You got 10. And you got 10, and you got 10.
We're talking hours of work.
Hours for a couple of weeks until you get a big giant box full of your final products. That was CDs. That was to create your own. Now, in the bigger industry, you would send that content off and go to a manufacturer. But for us, we would just make 200 or 300 at a time, pass them out, and it was a give and take. Either we would be focusing on a sales effort at an event, or be focusing on, it's an opportunity to give one of these out to 500 people. We just go give them out and eat the cost. So, you know, that's old. It sounds old school to me now saying it out loud, but that was a time frame where you had to choose, and then you can bring it to today where you either put out content that is someone's purchasing on a subscription. Go to YouTube. People are crushing YouTube right now with DIY projects and rebuilding engines or construction projects or creating cupcakes. Man, you can do anything on a digital platform now, and either you got to choose, depending on how your following's growing, you got to either do it in a way where you're making sure they subscribe because you need the $2.15 subscriptions, which think about Netflix. They're crushing it. It's a company called Flex. Most people may or may not know about this.
I've heard of
renting. If you're a renter, I hope everybody can buy a house at any point in their life a million times over. But if you're a renter and you go to what's called Flex, you can split your rent in half. They're flexing half of your rent. You only pay half, and then they pay the rest, and you pay them back later. So you can spread out your rent cost. Same thing as Netflix. I'm just saying the business model. Going back into what we're talking about. It's like $14 a month.
Wow.
And you get to pay half your rent up front the first of the month,
and the rest
pay the rest later in the month. But their module is around $14 a month. It's just like Netflix. Go look at their subscription quantity. They're $20 to $16. So anyway, back to from years past, you needed to focus on, do I need to give a product for free to get a following and adoption, or do I in a certain, and put a cap on that, or do I need to make sure it's all marginal in all sales?
Yeah.
In today's industry, it's when you talk about digital, it's if do you want to make it all subscription based or do you want to give a ton of free content out? I got some people I watch on YouTube to study the model. Gary Vee, lots of free. But then when it's time to purchase the subscriptions, the free following has gotten them to a place where it's very profitable.
Yeah.
And then it even goes to the nonprofit. It's not even always about, it's about impact. So you can go to nonprofits. Sometimes they need you to sign up for $1 for the Jude, St. Jude at the register because the impact is crazy and they just need $1 from you. A commitment. But then they're doing a bunch of whatever else for free. They're donating, giving back, or they're doing these big, get me on. There's a guy, John. I've been studying this John Bryant guy lately. It's just newer to me. I've been stuck on Gary Vee for a decade, but John Bryant, outside of traditional business development, he just gives gifts. And then, it's kind of like what's the guy behind, I'm going blank for a second. That's the guy behind, oh man, I'm going blank on the other influencer. It's influencers that do things to get publicity. Then once they get that viewership, they turn it into giving back.
You're not talking about Mr. Beast, are you?
Mr. Beast. Sorry, you read my mind. I'm tired.
Mr. Beast. Nope.
Mr. Beast started with just content that was random. Now he gave a whole community, he built houses for a whole neighborhood and built a soccer field in the middle of it. And all that money that he used to do that was from subscriptions to his YouTube channel. So it's not necessarily him losing any money. He's just channeling that money. But then the story of him building a community and putting a soccer field in the middle of it and giving free houses to a whole bunch of families, he's monetizing that. So it's like picking and choosing. It is a nonprofit world that makes you successful. And there's a profit world, obviously, that makes you successful, but you have to my thought, just
come on. This is we asking for your opinion. That's what we need on the show.
None of this is facts.
Well, when you say, you got to choose either this is marketing assets and you are building your community, or you got a bottom line and you need to monetize. How do you know which bucket you fall in your experience?
In my experience, again, I've been in just the creative and the marketing side of things, but
But you sit at a unique intersection because you've worn both hats. Like you've been the artist that needs to get the money to go to the show and get back home, and you've been the brand side of things that needs people to see this and it to appeal in order for them to make an investment with their dollar. And so you have a unique perspective because you've been both. And
Thanks,
so,
man.
what would you say to that person that's like, man, how do I decide whether it's music, whether it's a product, whether it's YouTube videos, how do I decide to give this content for free and then try to monetize later or just come out the gate? Like, what would you say?
It's your juncture in your journey. Where are you at and what intersection are you at? If you are in I don't like the word desperate, if you are in a startup, you're going to need to monetize fairly quickly. So you need to drive a brand campaign that starts monetization, or you're not going to have anything to stand on. But if you're in a juncture where you have monetized enough to get you to the next street, if you're talking about streets or intersections, then you have the opportunity to go ahead and do some giveaways and some campaigns that are just for the community of give backs and some free content. But don't think, I hope when you get to that juncture, you don't think of it as I'm losing money and wasting time. You're actually building your next chapter.
That's investment in yourself.
That's investment in yourself because you're getting adoption, visibility. If people going, I remember this, or making a connection. Then when you drop your next project or release your next product or do your next thing, whatever business, come on, Eric Howerton. When you start your next business, you already have the platform of people that know what you do.
Yeah.
Generally. So it's really, to answer the question, is whatever juncture you're at. But I would say when you're a startup,
Yeah.
and that's your first time to make an impact, you do need to try to think of monetization if you're a for-profit business.
You know, I got a question that you made me think of before I get there. It's how do you make it today? But before I get there, you said something that I think is important. I don't want to skip over it. Eric Howerton, the founder of podcastvideos.com, has a very unique perspective where there's no wasted interactions. If you can have a conversation with somebody, it don't matter if they're the CFO, it don't matter if they're sweeping the floor. It's not a wasted interaction. If you can go to an event, it don't matter if it's 10,000 people or 10, it is not a wasted interaction. He's like you, grassroots, old school, guerrilla marketing is his background, right? And so for people, I speak to business owners all the time and they're like, man, is that a waste of money, me marketing myself? And I know you can cringe when I say, like, just hearing that probably make your skin crawl, but how do you reframe that perspective? Whether you're a musician, whether you're a tech company and you're trying to get visibility, how can you change this concept in your mind that marketing yourself is a waste of money? What would you say to that person?
That's tough. I'm gonna try to frame it the best way I can and say that's an old school mentality to think that marketing yourself is a waste, because a lot of times it was years and decades of marketing agencies trying to convince brands. I'll talk about retail for a second.
Yeah.
Marketing agencies in years past had to convince, like, grab them by the ears and explain to brands and or emerging product developers or whatever companies, whatever industry, you need to market yourself. It was years and decades of explaining that. And then once they got on board, they would see that that was how they would get the visibility enough to get adoption.
A very extensive process.
It's your focus group. The world is your focus group. You have to bounce your idea off of the world, whether it be an AI product. I can go, you have to shut these cameras on.
No, we roll it. We roll it.
If we go into AI and go into digital development stuff. But the answer to your question is, it used to be, it's old school in my head, the only term I can use, to think that you're not supposed to market yourself every single day. And you don't have to be yourself. It's faceless brands, by the way. You don't need a person's face. There's brands that just speak for themselves. The product speaks for itself. So you can decide on that.
Right.
But you have to be present. No one here is a tree fall in the woods. You don't know that the tree fell in the woods. Somebody has to explain that the tree fell in the woods. So every single silo of every industry needs some version. And even I love nonprofits. Like, that's why I always get off of profit all the time and sometimes go to nonprofits. Right. Some of the best Children's Miracle Network, their marketing team is legit. They're marketing so that they can help give back. They're not just
a money grab. Like, even people that have good positive initiatives, like, they need good marketing.
You have to put your
churches need good marketing.
The church needs one of the best marketing strategies. Because they need the right demographic to come into their church and help them build the church, help them expand the church, and then get the kids in so the kids can learn early at church. That's a good one. So that's why I always get off. I like to talk about profitability and monetization and go-to-market strategy from a brand. With me and you just made up some sneaker brand. What did we do on the first day? I love talking about that. But in the same breath, creating a marketing strategy is for every single thing. Even if all of us, 90% of us give back, how are we going to get help with that plan? If we don't put together a very strong marketing? It might even be you're investing mainly in marketing for the first 5 years. Just invest in marketing and be in the red. Not in a bad red, or you're not going to survive, but you got to be in the red sometimes and put your content out, whether it be digital, physical, presence, speakers. I follow a lot of just speakers that go around to what's called trade shows and speaker seminars. You know, some that I've watched a lot of years, and then I've seen their content change, so I kind of get off it. But I find another one, like I've been on this John Bryant. I've been on Gary V. Got to check out Gary V. You can discern from how he speaks.
Right.
Cut that out.
If you could get past that, he got some
what
gems.
he's talking about,
Yeah.
he's always 7 to 10 years ahead. And John Bryant said something the other day, and he said, if you don't mind me rambling.
Come on.
He said, and I think the interview was in 2025. So he said from 2025 to 2030, you've seen companies in 50 years go a certain distance. He was like, in those 5 years, we're going to see companies go triple the speed because of automation. He's like, you go into CVS, you go into Walgreens. It used to be 8 people checking you out in one test model self-checkout. Now it's 8 self-checkouts in one person. And then he goes, stop fearing that AI and automation is taking your jobs. It's about whatever industry. If me and you was in the clothing industry, if me and you was in retail, we better quickly get on understanding the speed of automation, the speed of AI innovation, and then we'll be the subject matter experts, the SMEs.
Yeah.
We got to be on the cutting edge or you're last. Yeah. And you're behind and you're not ready. And it's not cutting out jobs, it's creating jobs. When the internet came out, people thought the world was going to end.
Literally.
And now we have computers in our pockets. And now we got $1,000 iPhones. I had a Nokia, man, for about $88.
I remember that. My uncle had the sidekick. I had the razor. I'm telling you.
And you can get the covers that match
I
your
remember
clothes.
all of that. I remember all of that.
They got the red cover and the green cover.
I remember all of that. Yep. And now we in a whole
But to be funny, John Bryan brought that up. I tried to watch a few things and get prepared for this, but it's like, that's to throw that into the mix is, what generation are you trying to appeal to from a marketing perspective? Mm-hmm. What platforms and what outlets do you need to be on? Mm-hmm. Or figure out if you don't know. You know, if you don't know TikTok and you try to sell some blank, you better figure it out. Or hire someone that knows it or has already figured it out. That's the other fun part. People think they got to do it themselves. Mm-hmm. John Bryant talks about he hired a team. He's like, my team's smarter than me. Yeah. But then when it was time for incentives, I asked them, snuck around and asked them all their favorite cars. He has a video where he brings them to his house for dinner and has some people secretly put their favorite cars. He invested in them. They don't have, they're a nonprofit. So they don't have bonus structures or incentives or nothing.
Are you serious?
He brought his whole team in for dinner to his house. And while they was eating dinner, he had a secret team. And over a month or two, asked them, hey, man, what's your favorite car, man? Oh, okay. And he put their name on a plaque in front of their car outside when they said, oh, y'all, we done eating. Come outside. And 10 cars are lined up for his staff. Oh, and this is just fluff. But I'm saying he was incentivized. The same thing Gary V does. He figures out what his employee, and that's a deeper topic. If you figure out what the people who work for you love and really connect with them, not just treat them like regulars, and you care for them and incentivize them, they'll work harder than they ever worked. And they'll help you and help the mission. Yeah. But his company's a nonprofit. That's why I keep talking about nonprofits, because sometimes people get deep into this. Get it. Yes, we're all trying to survive. But if you have the right approach, I mean, this John Bryant's companies are going crazy. I'm looking at his investments and this and that. And again, we don't have to put all that on there, but the mind state, the strategies, and he's give them all their favorite 10 cars. Or everyone one car, but all of them are lined up outside, and they were just going, I'll work here forever.
Let's get into this, right? Because like I said, you sit at such a unique intersection. You got, I mean, in the bio, I call you the corporate creative. Because thank you, man. And thanks for the wisdom. If y'all ain't already subscribed, follow District 21, follow Jeremy Bobo, the great work he's doing. Like, he's full of this. If you were to take an individual today, call him a creative, whether that is a musician, whether that is the next Mr. Beast, whether that is a person out there that's watching this from zero. They got an idea. They have, we just saw a girl last week get a $2 million check from Dr. Pepper from writing the jingle that she put on TikTok.
Bling.
Didn't think about it. Just something, you know what I mean? And now the brands are lining up, but she would have never done that. Never would have got that opportunity had she not put herself out there. So for the person that's watching this, that's maybe afraid to put themselves out there or doesn't know how to put themselves out there, what I want you to do is give your 3-step strategy. Typically, this is a quick question, like something where I'm like, give me your big do and your big don't do. But for you, this is a unique conversation where I think you have a level of insight and intellect. And so what I'm asking you is your key to success, whatever that looks like for each person. You got to define it for yourself. But what would you say if you want to break through in 2026, if you want to build, a brand, if you want to get notoriety, if you want to market yourself well, what would you say those 3 things are?
That's a tough one. You're trying to throw the boomerang.
I gave you a big question,
That's a good one. No,
but you are the person that I can ask that.
I like it. That's a startup. And then it's a go-to-market strategy.
Okay.
You look at things like what Walmart does. I'm going to skip over that bucket for half a second to try to answer it.
Yeah.
Is they have what's called open call.
Mm-hmm.
If me and you came out with a seasoning for some ribs.
Yeah.
We got a prototype.
Mm-hmm.
We've only invested in the 1 or 2 prototypes.
Yeah.
We have an idea.
Yeah.
The next bit, the other things of 1 is have the idea.
Yeah.
You got the idea. If we're not sure how to go to market, that's okay. We're going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
You either and hire people that can help you do that, or you start to think through the steps I'm going to try to go through.
Yeah.
Have the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Then you need branding. Sometimes people try to skip over branding.
What is branding?
Branding is a visual representation of whatever the product is. If you're an AI company, you need some visual representation logo, visual representation look and feel,
Mm-hmm.
inspiration board theme.
Mm-hmm.
If me and you came out with some clothes today, I think we probably have some browns and some earth tones because we both got the earth tones on.
Yep.
The look and feel and a big coupe, a representation like a logo of whatever. So you need a brand image.
The Nike check.
You need a check. You need a Mr. Beast, that little beast.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need a Bluey representation. You need something that is the face. Sometimes it's a face. It's a person. Sometimes the person is the brand image.
Yeah.
Sometimes the imagery and the content is the image. So you need the idea.
Yeah.
You need branding.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole, again, to stop on branding, the number 2 out of your 3, you got to have visual podcast videos. Come on, man. Look at the car out there.
Yeah.
And the colors.
Yeah.
The color theme and look and the feel. So every time somebody open their eyes and see that, they make a connection to whatever you're selling.
That's good. And that's what branding is for.
Some people skip that.
Yeah.
And then they're off path because somebody go, I tasted that, but I don't remember. That seasoning was good, but I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
That's because you didn't have enough strong branding. People, that car out there.
Yeah.
I saw it when it was first wrapped.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep, do that. And we can put 100 things on a whiteboard right now of people and companies or brands with very strong branding.
Yeah.
Children's Miracle Network is the little blimp. You can't miss it at the register to give the extra $1 or $2. So just to go global representation of big brands to small brands. So back to our 1, 2, 3. 1 is the idea. Then we got to get in the mindset of go to market. Our go to market has to have some visual representation. We need to map that out. Never change it. That's where I have a struggle. I've created branding and logos for a lot of teams or a lot of groups in years past. Then they want to rebrand in a year and change it. It's muddy. People can't keep on remembering that. Once you make the M arches, you better have them arches or we're going to forget over time. So off of that bucket, idea, branding, which is a whole system of visuals. whatever that looks like, whether it be colors and themes or exact logo or whatever. The third one would be based on the industry, because again, we're talking about a big open shoot.
Yeah.
If we're in construction, if we're in real estate, if we're in clothing and apparel, if me and you were in digital assets, if we were in banking, we would choose where are our target demo. So then the third bucket, I like this, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. This
Thank you.
It helped me say it out loud.
Yeah. Sure.
The third bucket would be to figure out what demographic you're after. So that's a thinking bucket first before you do anything.
Yeah.
Know the idea. We know what, now we just got a whole creative agency or we did it ourselves. What's the visuals? We know what we look like.
Yeah.
The third one is a thinking and a brainstorm conversation with the shareholders of the company or the person that's doing it on their own, making cupcakes.
Yeah.
You can go as small as whatever you're doing.
Yep.
Who am I after?
Mm.
What demographic? What age group? So the word is demographic, but that breaks down into what age group. Where are they?
Yeah.
You might need to do some research.
Yeah.
Are they at the farmer's market?
Yeah.
Or in my local area? Or do I need to travel to New York? Do I need to go to California to these trade shows?
Mm.
Ooh, don't get me into that bucket, because when I worked at the marketing agency, we went to CES, which is the biggest release of electronics in the world. We went to New York Toy Fair in New York every year. It's an annual event.
Wow.
It's 100,000 people. I don't know how many people, maybe not that many, but somewhere around 50,000 people go, and every biggest brand, Mattel and toys. Then you go look at Las Vegas licensing show. We went every single year, and we would meet some of the biggest licensing opportunities and sit with them and ask them for 5 minutes to chat. So then it's like, where do I need to be physically or digitally to connect with the people that's going to make my business successful? That was long-winded, bro.
No, that's it.
That's 1, 2, 3. The third one is, what's the rollout strategy and who do I need to connect with?
Yeah.
And then if you can do it all on digital, and you can just put out content and put out a video. The girl who made the Chili's video, that's crazy. I saw that today. The lady in China that sold $8 million in 5 minutes because they did a handbag thing. The lady who did the like gummies, it was like some type of gummy bears or something, and blew that up. Whatever. That's one of those kind of one-hit wonders, but that's where in years past you didn't have the internet opportunity.
Right.
So you needed to get in your car and get on a plane.
Yeah.
But that third element is, what demographic am I trying to reach? Whether what type of person, what age group, what executive. Yeah. Give me on going. You need to know physically where to be and what events to attend or what meeting to ask for. It can be one-to-one. It don't have to be a trade show. Yeah. It can be reach out 10 times
Who
on
is
the
that
website
person
to talk to the CFO of this company, so you can just ask them for 5 minutes about it, have a question. The other one could be your digital presence. LinkedIn is my favorite game now, but that's changed, bro. Since MySpace and YouTube and LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook, my favorite today, it's been all of those. My favorite Vine, when it was a thing, X.
I don't even remember. They don't even remember Vine.
Vine, X,
TikTok,
other ones.
TikTok.
And then you got to be paying attention to what the new ones are coming. This new one's going to come in the next couple of years. We got to know what the new ones are and be on it.
Yeah.
Threads.
Yeah.
Threads has been out 3 years. 2.
Mm-hmm.
Small, but it's building. I think they need to add some things to it.
Yeah.
But then my favorite at the current day is LinkedIn, because I can ask for a Zoom call tomorrow with somebody that I really want to talk to. So if you're talking about music industry, you better be connecting on the music platforms to reach out to the people that you need to make a connection with.
That's right.
If you're talking about business and retail, you better be on my vote for now is LinkedIn. It's got to be something different. So that's that third component, is connectivity, making sure you going after the right. There's only so much time to release something and break a product or do it over. Sometimes it's not fast. It's got to be super fast. It just got to be impactful.
For that person that's, man, I'm just starting, I don't know who my target is, or for that person that's saying, my target is everybody, me and if you speak to everybody, you speak to nobody. We get that, but
true.
But what would you say? Like, how do I even find out who I'm talking to? I don't know who my cupcakes are for. I don't know who this music is for. I don't know who,
It's true. You do enough research to, and then honestly, hide your resources, look up the most success. It doesn't matter what we're making or what product. That's why I like this broad conversation.
Yeah.
If me and you were making electronics, me and you would be sitting in a room reaching out to every electronic buyer, GMM or buyers, merchants.
Yeah.
We would be looking up in I love whiteboard. That sounds old school, but I don't care. iPad.
Yeah.
We would jot down the top 10 electronics brands at that time, DJI all the way down, to make sure we're aligned to the success opportunity. So back to your, what do I do? Go look up the 5 successful brands within the top 5 successful brands within your genre and figure out what they're doing.
Right.
Do something similar.
Yeah.
Hide your resources. Not exact. Do it your own way, but you better tap into what's popular.
Yeah. There's enough data. Something has to be working.
Enough data.
Something has to be, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
If we was coming out with LED, if we was coming out with a new e-commerce site, Alibaba, Temu, if we was coming out with a new Shein, we better figure out real quick what is the coding associated with their e-commerce platform, what assortment of products are on their site, and what things are what's trending that people are buying the most of.
Yeah.
Then we on the site.
I mean, that's minimum. Like that's
you need to go figure out what's already happening. That don't mean do it exactly the same, because that's where you get on a train and being a mimic and not really making an impact, and nobody cares, and then you're not going to win in that market share. Yeah. But if I go in and Walmart talk right now, Walmart just changed their stock positioning from the New York Stock Exchange to the NASDAQ. People don't even know what I'm talking about. I was explaining to somebody the other day, and they're like, I don't know what you're saying.
Wow.
The stock just went from a $90 to 124, buzzing around 124. In the last several years, it's never went past 100. It's because they went to a different stock platform that is in a tech silo, AI automation, distribution centers going to automation. More funding is in the tech silos with your Teslas and your cars and your functionality and your coding and stuff like that. So saying that without going too deep on that, where do you need to position yourself? That was big talk, big retail too.
That's good.
Went to the NASDAQ, the stock just went. And people are like, it's never went that. It's because with the changeover of the CEO, the John Furry, my guy, I did a lot of work with
shout out to John
DJ for his personal offense in the past.
It's beautiful.
His family, they're good people, man.
It's beautiful.
Opportunity, he put a lot of time in, put 30 years in.
Yeah.
He's going to lead the charge for Walmart into a tech sector, a tech platform. So it's back to the third part of what I was saying. Who are you trying to reach? Who are you competing with? Amazon, Alibaba. I'm just making up the name.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Then you better position yourself in a space that makes you valuable to the consumer. So that's just a scenario and an example. But
you need the idea, you need the branding,
you better
need to know who you're talking to. That's your big three.
Get to quickly. And focus on the lanes that get you in a position to talk to you need to talk to.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll. We talked about that.
Used to rap. People don't even know that.
I just saw the other week he lost 100-something pounds. He's changed his personality, dude. You know, we can go in there for like 2 seconds. I don't want to break the conversation, but evolve too. Number 4 is be evolving. We didn't open for Jelly Roll. We performed after Jelly Roll, like some closing. And he was 350 pounds He was talking Memphis talk. He was a rapper.
Yeah. Yeah. A good one at that.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. A really great rapper at that.
He was great.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
He was outstanding.
Yeah.
In that time frame in 2009, then he morphed himself into a country music superstar, winning Grammys a week ago. And now he's changed his content to be about self-reflection, changing your life, staying out of trouble, helping the community.
A complete 180.
Gave back. He did some big give back. I can't remember exactly. Don't quote me on that one, but like, life is a long race, man. It's not even a race. It's a race with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a long evolution process, but business, that's still business. That's his business. His business started in the streets of Memphis as a rapper at 400 pounds. Now he's 200 pounds, changed his mentality, impacting more people, spreading a greater mission, greater statement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking positive and winning big and giving back.
Yeah, man.
Isn't that funny? And I'm thankful to cross paths with him just to remember a story and look back. And some people that's just now seeing him winning Grammys and all that,
I don't even know where he came from.
that dude put a lot of work in and changed his life. So that going back to business talk, it's the Eric Howerton. I'm just gonna say that because I like that.
That's my guy, man. That's a good
You gotta
guy.
change yourself 10 times. You gotta think of where they're head. You gotta build up. You gotta hire talent, or you gotta see talent when you see it, know it, and you gotta define the plan every time, or pivot, take these shoes off and put some different shoes on, and go in a different direction.
Yo,
That's business.
man, listen. This has been one of the most insightful conversations, both on the show and off, that I've had in quite some time.
Thanks, sir.
And I knew it was gonna be that. I knew this. I'm telling you now, we need a part 2.
I was just having fun.
I'm telling you now.
Y'all let me come here.
I'm telling you now.
You didn't have to let me in here.
Man, we need a part 2. Where can we keep up with you? What's coming for you?
Sure.
Where can we follow you? Plug everything.
Sure, man. The biggest thing, I've taken a pivot in the last 1 year. I've been at Walmart 1 year, 2 weeks ago. I hit my 1 year at Walmart.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Really.
I have hit a different lane for a while, and I'm gonna focus on it because let me be straight up. I want to climb the Walmart ladder. I aspire to be a part of Walmart marketing at some point. I'm in the design and creative space of Walmart, of a small sector that we put out signage for every Walmart store and Sam's Club in the United States.
Really?
In the whole country.
Wow.
And it's systematic signage, lawn and garden, seasonal messaging, Mother's Day. We're doing systematic stuff. So it's not the creative stuff. I'm in years past in the marketing agencies where we did something for NHL and Reebok partnership and Snickers and
My goodness.
Kellogg's and that. We did that. That was just brands. It was working on the brand and the vendor side.
Yeah.
Now I'm on the Walmart side, but my aspirations, I'm trying to get to your answer. My aspirations is to grow into Walmart. And we did, my history of the last decade or 15 years was creating content tied to Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco, HEB, retail stores and fixtures and signage and packaging, brand packaging. What does this need to say? Where does it need to align? How does it need to wrap around a can? All that, those things. Now it's boiled down to I'm on the other side of the fence and in the retail space of working at Walmart versus working with Walmart. So I'm really trying to focus on that.
Yeah.
If you look at Latrice Watkins, she jumped from Walmart side under visual merchandising to be the CEO of Sam's Club.
Shout out Latrice. Shout out to Latrice. Yeah.
And that's a big deal. You look at John Farner taking Doug McMillan's. That's a tough position to take. He's done it for years. He's hit 35 years of service. I aspire to help in the spaces that I've been working in outside of Walmart under visual merchandising, marketing, or get on the Walmart Creative, or even my favorite thing is social media content creation and captioning and corporate communications.
Yeah.
So if ever I can get on that side, that'd be awesome. So what am I doing today? Focusing on what I'm doing in my role and focusing on those opportunities and the ability to grow into those spaces.
Yeah. Sure.
Outside of Walmart walls, District 21 has taken a little bit of change.
Sure.
Because it was every day. I worked for District 21 for 1.5 to 2 years straight. Every day, only that.
Yeah.
So I needed to put out content that helped real estate establishments get some publication. This entire building.
I remember content you did. I remember.
I did an AI video.
I remember.
For So anyway, and then or I did content for just small businesses. I did content for another little marketing agency. I did content for a company that writes code for retail and that sort of thing. So they can have visuals on their Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, creating that visuals and handing it to them as packages.
Absolutely.
I did retainer packages.
Sure.
So they would say, I need this, and this, and I'm pitching this next week. Give me all the visuals and all the video and or static imagery to explain and put the QR code on it, and I could create QR codes, blah, 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 blah. I'm not doing that as much. I'm not doing it nearly as much because I got to focus on what I'm doing in my Walmart role. But still have the ability. District 21 is on Instagram. District 21 is on LinkedIn. District 21 is on Facebook.
Correct.
Jeremy Bobo kind of is a micro agency. And what that means, I like talking about that. I took that from a guy in Dallas, that term. Micro agency means you have the ability to get whatever's needed, whether you create it or you're a sourcing partner.
I like that.
So if you said, man, I need some vinyl wraps for all the chairs that says podcast all over it. I need a vinyl wrap for the vehicle. I need a design for my website.
If I can't do it myself, I know who can.
So I'll break out what I'm going to do, and I'll break out and I'll know my sourcing partners, and I need 16 retractable banners for the event next month. I need some 8-foot back wall so we can do photo ops, and I need a photo booth, or I need whatever, it don't matter. I have several tentacles because I've been in the industry so long that I know where I can get a source for a good quality and cost.
Sure.
And so I build that into the District 20. That's the District 21 package. So you don't have to think about it. You just tell me what you need, and I'll call you with how it's going to get there. Recently, a Catholic church, just examples real quick.
Yep.
I'm not taking too much of the time. On the District 21 side, a Catholic church I'm working with out of Springdale needed some digital signboards, some digital boards. They needed a design for their backlit signage on campus. They needed approval from the city of Springdale.
Oh, wow.
I can do all that.
Wow.
Either do it or know who can do it.
Yeah.
I worked in the sign industry for building signs. Sandy Sue Bakery and Sandwich. Hey, Blue Zoo Aquarium. I helped with the signage on the building.
Wow.
Because I worked with in tandem with another company.
Yeah.
Coming off of that, I'm not a sound guy, but I am a sourcing support in regards to District 21, just from I know what Bang does. I know what this person does. You would be my sourcing partner for whatever your expertise is. So District 21 is a micro agency.
Yeah.
It was inspired by a company out of Dallas where he's a 3D artist and a designer, but he also has been in so many different sourcing industries that he can kind of get you whatever you need or get you in touch. Or Wizard of Oz, my favorite, hitting the drum and then we all behind the cloak, but you're going to get what you need. I'll figure out what getting you what you need. So that's what District 21 still is. The biggest company, the main company that I work with every month pretty much throughout the year is called Champions for Kids. They give back to 21 local K-8 elementary schools and junior high schools. Wow. They accumulate over $1.5 million in giveaways and donations to these schools, faculty. At the end of the year, John Tyson himself funds the dinner. It's 2,000 people, 2,000 dinners at Embassy Suites. I help with all the back walls and backdrops and visuals for that, collateral, digital content, a little bit of help with social media. They handle that themselves. I don't want to take any credit or anything like that. I'm just saying District 21, that's my biggest one I'm working with every single year.
That's beautiful.
Champions for Kids. And it gives back to kids. The literacy organization. It's about kids reading, and they win a scooter or a Razor bike, or they get some Christmas gifts because they weren't gonna have a good Christmas anyway at Springdale.
Right.
That's what Champions for Kids is: literacy and giving back to this area. So, District 21's main thing is that, but I still got an itch of everything else I was doing daily in the past. Outside of my Walnut Road.
So it's like when somebody said, "What do?" You say, "What do you need?"
What do you need? Like, what do you need creative, or what do you need sourced, or what do you need from a consulting and I don't even like using the word consulting because that always sounds like your answers. The consultant's answers are the best.
Right.
A consultant is somebody to brainstorm with.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
People really think consultants are the ones with the answers. Not necessarily. That's the person you brainstorming with, and you can decide if those are the answers. So District 21 is alive in regards to creative, sourcing, or consulting, which is brainstorming.
Thank you for joining me, my brother.
Thanks, man.
We'll do this again.
Sounds good.